Hello. Oh, crap. I forgot to remove my mods. 1 second. Okay. Hello. Oh, that's wonderful. So, I know the last video I did, I was a little vulnerable, to say the least, but I've been doing a lot better. Stuff like that does not happen that often with me. We're gonna turn on. I should play with this game with music. Yeah. And also I have the handy mod, so my hand's been hurting. Anyway. Hello. Today I wanted to talk about. Okay. I need to think when I do these videos. I need to think. So I'm gonna turn the music down a little bit. Today I want to talk about 2 things in particular. Relationships, specifically abusive ones. I want to talk about how things are usually going to get worse before they get better. I feel like we'll start there. So, when things are hard, people I often see from my experience try to take the path of least resistance. They try to go they try to just tank their difficulties head on rather than face them. And I feel like this kind of ties into the therapy thing, because I kind of feel like by not going forward and say there's an overarching problem that you need to solve, but instead of solving that, solving that problem is going to be hard. It's going to be scary. It's going to mess you up for a little bit because of just how big it is. So, instead of solving the problem and putting in the effort and the time aside to making your life better in that way, you kind of just cower. You cower away from it. You continue going through the problem, and you experience all of the effects it has on you, and it makes your life worse. That is really not a good way to do things, obviously, but I've seen that a lot of people that are in those kinds of situations tend to do that, and they sometimes do it without realizing it. Like, it can be people who have problems that they need to face, and they just think they're unsolvable. Something like that. They just don't know if they'll be able to, get through it, if it's worth putting in the effort to. And I feel like the problem with that thinking is that it can either be 2 things. You can either be afraid of what will happen when you do solve the problem, or you can just not put any thought into it. You can just think nothing's gonna get better, there's no point in trying. If you're doing that, then nothing's gonna get better. You need to face your problems head on. And that's really important, because this is tying into the other topic. Abusive relationships. I've seen 2, kind of 3, happen around me semi-recently, and it's not pretty, obviously. And I feel like a lot of that factor ties into that people are afraid of change. Those were good hits. People are afraid of seeing change that will be hard to go through. Like, if you're in an abusive relationship, and there's one specific scenario that I'm thinking of right now that is a hell of a lot. I don't want to go too much into detail, but there are people that I know pretty, not insanely well, but they dated a while ago, and they were really into each other. They've been dating for a few years, and from the outside, everything looked great, but recently, one of them started changing a lot, like becoming a different person, kind of, and it kind of ruined things between them really bad, and ever since then, it's kind of just been getting worse and worse, and it's just not been pretty. Now, the thing is with stuff like this, I've seen a lot of people be afraid of leaving the relationship due to a significant other holding something over their head, like emotional manipulation kind of way, saying, I'll do something to myself, or I'll do this, or I'll do that. And it's obviously very bad. It's not something that is easy to deal with at all. And that's what I thought at first. But things really change in stuff like this when you hear both sides. And I mean that intensely. If you are going through, or if your friend or someone you know is going through something like this, I very much recommend try not to immediately jump to one side unless you know the full story, because things can change a lot when you hear both sides. More than you think. And when things get down to that, having heard both sides, you kind of realize there really is no reason to pick sides. In the particular situation that I'm talking about, two people, one of them does not love the other anymore, like at all, and he really wants to break up with her, but she still loves him, and it seems cliche on the outside, but there's been a lot of emotional manipulation on one side and just a lot of neglect on the other. And both situations kind of add up to you thinking, this really isn't working, obviously. But the problem is, both parties refuse to separate for some reason. And I'm sure it's deeper than that, but you realize neither of them like each other anymore. Well, one of them still does, and one of them is desperately trying to salvage something that was lost a while ago, because one of them is a different person now, and it's hard to get that back. Change like that is hard, especially when you're dating someone and they change a lot, like almost become a different person. Obviously, that's very hard to go through. And, you know, sometimes it can work out because they didn't change intensely, or they're still a person that the other person is interested in. But in this particular situation, that's not what happened, sadly. Both of them are suffering a lot, and it's, from the outside looking in, it's not at all good. And everyone has different views on the situation. A lot of friends are thinking this or that, or I've only heard this side, or I've only heard this side. I have only really I've heard chunks of both sides, and it's not good. On my part, I've kind of realized there's no real reason to pick sides, just because you either say both sides are incriminated, or that's basically it. going around and blaming one or the other, unless it's a genuine situation where one person is just a scumbag that is taking pride in what they do, then you can judge and don't hurt them. You can verbally express to them your discomfort in their existence. Okay, both sides are going through this. They aren't working together anymore. Everybody from the outside sees that. You can kind of tell that they both see it too. Yet, no change comes of it, obviously. And those kinds of people are really hard to be around. Because if you are around them, you never know if you're in store for just one side is just going to bully you, or the other one's going to have a random scary emotional outburst, and it's a very threatening situation. Or so I've heard, and I feel like a big reason it's still moving forward, or not really anymore, but a big reason that they're still together is just because either one side knows it's gone, but is too afraid of splitting up, or yeah, that's about it. That's kind of where this all comes in. It's, you really shouldn't be afraid of that. It's going to hold you back a lot. If you need to solve an overarching problem, then you probably should. You can't ignore it. Because, I mean, you can, but it's only going to make things worse. And things are going to get worse a lot faster than you think. Sorry, there was probably a big cut there, but I lost my train of thought and then died in the blotcher run. So, welcome to Checker Deck. Anyway, things are only gonna get things are only gonna get better if you put in the effort to make them better. And there might be a period of time, maybe a month or more, depending on the situation, where, say, obviously, in a situation like this, it was a breakup. It's scary to leave that person, but at the end of the day, it's just making your lives worth staying together. It's important that you both realize that. You and this other person, or these two people that I'm kind of talking about in specific. Because no matter how much it hurts to think that, or to want someone back, or how they used to be, chances are, if you've gone this long and they're not back yet, I wouldn't bet on them coming back. And I'm just some random person on the internet. So, I like I said, I haven't gone through one of these relationships myself, but from the outside looking in on multiple occasions, this is kind of what it feels like thinking, hey, this isn't working. You need to kind of honestly realize you need to give it up. It's not working for anyone, and times have changed, and you need to prioritize yourself in a way, because staying with a person that just hurts you like that isn't gonna get better for anyone, ever. It's important to prioritize yourself in that way. So, that is kind of what I wanted to talk about for today. just a quick repetition. I'm doing fine. The crap that happened with the last video is pretty rare for me, so if you happen to stumble on that video and then say, oh my god, what's happening, don't worry, things are okay. I'm perfectly fine. It's really nothing bad. Like I said, stuff like that's rare for me in particular, and everything's going good. I wanted to know if you watch this and then and you want to see me play Balatro actually competently, you can leave a comment and say, hey, I want to see you live stream, and maybe I'll do that, because I really like playing Balatro. I have like 300 hours on the game, and I get really lucky, like a lot, and I get really stupid, bizarre runs that all my friends say I should stream, because it's like literally streamer luck, in a way. I sound so stupid. Yeah. Yeah, if you want to see me do that, say it. Bye.